These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here on Sunday, April 9th. Happy Easter. The final game of the regular season was this afternoon. For those who listen to pregame, yes, I did in fact sleep through pregame. My sleep schedule is messed up, and I forgot the Celtics had an early game. Hand up, my bad. That one's on me.
I was just hanging out by myself.
Yeah, Sam is a trooper. Appreciate him. Also, last week, I said happy birthday to my sister. Today, happy birthday, Henry. Henry's birthday today.
Was he sleeping today too?
Probably.
You guys all have birthdays like right next to each other. It's kind of crazy.
Do.
It's like
They're
2 weeks.
It's a week apart. March 25th, April 2nd, April 9th. Bing, bang, boom. There you go. But yeah, happy birthday, Henry. I just thought, I don't know when your birthday is. When is your birthday? Is it a summer?
My birthday? October 28th.
Okay, Bozo Jack. Was that the start of the regular season last year? No, October.
I don't think so.
October 28th. All right, I'll have to remember that. I'm terrible with that type of stuff. But yeah, happy birthday, Henry. Happy Easter to everybody who celebrates. And happy end of the regular season to the Celtics.
It is the most wonderful time of the year. Now.
Time?
Well, next weekend it'll start. The play-in, I don't really count that because I don't really care.
Sure.
Speaking of the play-in, we are planning to tentatively do something Tuesday, a live stream during the play-in game. Whether we're going to actually stream the game is very much up in the air, but we're going to talk about the game while it's going on. And, we're going to see who's going to play the Celtics. So,
yes,
be there.
Agree. Heat versus Hawks. Celtics will get one of the two teams. I think it's pretty clear which of the two teams the Celtics and everybody in Boston would rather play. I was looking at a poll.
The one they only beat a million times.
Yeah. I was looking at a poll the other day. I saw a poll in Boston, like, who would you rather play? There were 330 votes, and it was literally 100% Hawks. 330 votes said they would rather play the Hawks. Not a single person even mistakenly clicked the Heat. It was not close. It was very funny.
It's a very careful decision you have to make, though.
Right?
If you click the wrong one, you might be in trouble. They might be like, "Why did you pick the Heat?" and then interview you on TV or something.
Yeah, you got to be, very careful what you click on Twitter nowadays.
I think it's always been that way. Shout out to Doc Rivers and Carson Edwards and a lot of them.
People getting their Twitter hacked.
A lot of the victims.
Disaster.
I mean, it's not really a disaster. It's only a disaster if you get caught.
Well, yeah, but you're gonna get caught. Come on, let's not act like you're not gonna get caught if you get up to some.
There are better places to enjoy yourself than Twitter, like the movies. Yeah, I went to the movies yesterday.
Yes,
by myself. I saw Air with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck about Jordans, and it was excellent. I enjoyed it, and I enjoy going to the movies alone. It's a sleeper activity. I know you are not a movie guy at all because you just can't watch movies.
I will say though, I do enjoy. Like, I can enjoy going to movies. Like, I feel like there's something about it that makes it an event. Like, I would never just like put a movie on in my house by myself and watch a movie. I'd just rather watch a TV show or YouTube or like a Twitch stream or something.
Right.
But like the act of going to the movies feels like you're going there specifically. It's like a whole event. The last movie I saw was Elvis. Elvis, good movie in theaters.
Really?
With
my parents saw that.
It was good. It was really good. I enjoyed it. But before that, I hadn't been to the movies in a long time, and it made me remember, like, oh, this is kind of fun. I enjoy it. Like,
the movies rule. You go up, you get popcorn.
I think
I put a ton of butter on my popcorn.
Of course,
trying to give myself a heart attack.
You have to.
I bring my big ass seltzer water in with me, and I wear. I'm not going to get up and get it because I have my earpiece connected to my computer. But I wore my Newman fleece. It is my typical signature movie outfit. When I go to the movies, I tend to wear that because it's comfortable and warm. But it was great. I went, left, no problem. But it is when you book your ticket on like the little screen, it's now assigned seats when you go to the movie. And my theater was pretty busy, so I was actually not in a wheelchair spot, but a wheelchair companion spot. Because that's like one of the only ones that was left.
Yeah.
And I would have just had to move seats if anybody was there, but they were not in my theater.
Good. See, the last time I went to the movies, it was empty, and there was only one other like person in the theater, and they were in our row, so it was a disaster. It was a mess.
Or were you there first?
We did end up moving like a couple rows up, but it was just like really like the only other person in the whole thing is there. But before I went to see Elvis, I think the last movie I saw was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which was like
Well, I was
5 years ago. Exactly. Like I hadn't been to the movie. And in
That movie
fairness, like
rules. And then the
great
next one's
movie.
coming out.
And in my defense, like a big chunk of those 3 years, you weren't actually able to go to the movies. So
It's true.
I'll get a little bit
The
of
best
pass
movie
there,
experience ever was Endgame.
Uh-huh.
That ruled.
Are you into the Marvel stuff? Have you seen all that?
I haven't seen a lot of the new ones. Like, it kind of lost its like after Endgame. To be honest with you, like they started making TV shows and stuff, and it became a lot.
Sure.
I don't really have time for that, which is crazy. Yeah. Like we talked about last time. Like I used to be able to be good at multiple video games, and I'm only gonna have time to be good at one. But yeah, Endgame ruled. We went to the movie theater in the mall parking lot, and I'll never forget. We had to park probably a quarter mile away.
Oh my God, that busy?
Yeah, it was so packed, dude. I've never seen it that packed.
Was every theater Endgame where they're showing it everything?
I don't think so. I just know we bought our tickets way in advance. I had just gotten out of work at the nursing home, changed there, went to the theater, met all my friends. It was the best. It was packed. We'd been waiting years for this. Like, I don't know what the next time the movie will be like that. Like, that many people were excited to see it. It was so busy. It was unbelievably busy. I've never seen it remotely close to that packed in the parking lot where you have to park. We parked in a Target, and it was
that's nuts.
Unbelievable. I can't describe the feeling, and it's real sad because now we don't go see movies anymore as a group.
Yeah, that
doesn't happen. We used to roll like 9 deep. Now we get
funny
3.
A funny movie story I had is like not even a personal story, but just a story about a movie. You remember Morbius? The movie that came out like
never saw it.
You remember the joke that happened?
Like the people were talking about it that it was so bad, and then they re-released it.
Well, what happened was like it came out and it flopped. It was terrible. But like everyone joked about being, how bad it was, and the whole joke was like, "Oh no, I was just busy that weekend. If you reopen it, I'll definitely go." And that was like on YouTube, on Twitch, and like Twitter, everything. Like that was just the joke. Like, "Oh no, we were all busy that weekend." And so they decided to reopen the movie, and nobody went to see it. And they lost a ton of money because
let that be a lesson to you, Sony. Stop making movies about Spider-Man without Spider-Man in them, because people care about Spider-Man and not Morbius.
I just thought that was so funny that they they reopened the whole thing just for everyone to say and then everyone got back on social media like, "Oh no, we were busy again."
Yeah.
The
best was the whole tease of that movie is Spider-Man might be in it, so go see it.
I don't know any of the context. I just know that part, that everyone was
I remember when it the trailers would come out and stuff, that's all anybody cared about.
Yeah
But now you get Spider-Verse in a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be back to see that. Air was excellent again.
I'm gonna have to go see it. I need to see Air. You want to hear a dangerous admission that you're gonna yell at me at? I've still never seen I forget what it's called now.
Good Will Hunting.
No, the Adam Sandler one. With
Hustle.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it.
Oh, the movie rules. You should watch it.
I know. I need to watch
it.
I've been telling myself.
You don't even go out. You're just hanging out. It's not like you're doing anything.
I know.
No, you're doing plenty.
I know. Hey, wait,
in the grand scheme of things, you're not slammed. You're very flexible.
No, I know. I could absolutely watch it, and I should absolutely watch it, and I will eventually. It's just I can never bring myself to watch movies. I always just throw on background stuff behind while I'm doing other stuff. I don't know.
I do find that dilemma. You lay down, especially me, I lay down for bed, and I typically
what I've been watching lately?
Shows. Go ahead.
I've been watching a lot of baseball stuff on YouTube and stuff. I'll watch, John Boy.
Yeah, I've heard of
John Boy's sick. I watch him. He does warehouse games, so they'll just do wiffle ball tournaments and stuff. Very fun to watch. It's mainly because it's a 40-minute video and there's not a ton going on, so I can half pay attention and also fall asleep. So that's cool. His breakdowns are fun. I watch my YouTube's now flooded with the compilations of funny moments and random stuff, good plays, and I just put those on. I don't know why. I struggle to sit down and watch a whole baseball game. I threw on the Red Sox the other day when I was doing work and stuff, but since we've been playing the show, I find myself enjoying it more. And I will say baseball's the main sport that's I think there's the biggest difference between watching experience at home versus in person. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Going to a baseball game is fire. Very fun. Hang out with your friends. Last time I went to a baseball game last summer with our friend Danny. Danny Hanley, and then my friend Mallory. We went, rain delayed, right? Just for like an hour, right? Rain delayed for an hour. We stayed outside, chilled in the rain. It was fun. I mean, we were drunk at this point, but like that's what you do when you go to a baseball game. At least that's what I do when I go to a baseball game. It's like it's one of the few social situations where I drink because I just don't really like it. But baseball game, I'm like, all right, this is fun, whatever. Stand outside in the rain delay.
At the baseball game.
Yeah, no, literally. Stand outside in the rain delay, having a good time. Rain delay ends. Baseball comes back. Red Sox win on a walk off. It was just.
I'm sure great. Like being drunk, that was like the best thing ever.
Oh yeah,
even though I don't know what it's like to be drunk, but I can imagine like your emotions were really elevated. So you were like, the amount of dopamine you got from that moment.
When I'm drunk, I get less introverted, which is like that's just what it does. Like I'll
I think
talk
that's
more.
what it's
I'll
like
be
for
more willing to
everybody,
express.
from what I understand.
And I mean, if you know me, I'm a very introverted person. I stay in my house and I write articles like a goblin. So,
did you say a goblin?
Yeah,
I was gonna say you're like a freaking goblin. Yeah, good.
So it just kind of opens me up. Get out, but it's fun. No, yeah, Red Sox games are fun. I need to go to one soon, especially with how cheap they are. Like,
well, they're bad, so it should
just like
even though they won the last couple days.
Yeah, they're back to 500. Even when they're not like bad though, like it's just the cheapest of all the four sports, which is nice. And also, like for what it's worth, Fenway Park, gorgeous, like so cool to be in the field stadium. Why am I being the park, the ballpark, whatever? Yeah, that's the word. I'm sitting here I'm about to say like arena, like it's a TD Garden. But no, yeah, it's a good time. When I was younger, I took a tour of Fenway Park. And I thought it was cool because, like, you know how they got rid of the old seats and they put in new ones? I took, like, a piece of wood off the old seat. So I'm like, oh, I have a piece of it now. I don't
Did you?
Anymore, but,
cool.
Yeah. I had
when I went to
like, case.
I had been to London and we sat in London Stadium, actually for the Red Sox. My dad and I went. And
for
my
the
mom's a flight attendant.
London?
Yeah, they played the Yankees a couple years ago. They got killed.
Oh, it's dope. No.
But my mom's a flight attendant, so it's very easy.
Yes.
Or it was. I'm too old now, but it was very easy for us to travel on her like seniority. So me and my dad went, whatever, and we took like the little seat number off the seat, and I'm sure we still have it from London Stadium.
You took what off the seat?
Like, you know, like when you sit in a seat, it's like numbered.
Yeah, you took the number off?
Yeah, the number fell off.
Oh, it fell off and you took it.
Yeah,
okay.
we kept it.
I thought you were saying like you unscrewed it and ripped the number off the seat.
Dude, London, England, all of it rules. Like, go out there, go see soccer. If you've never been, like, go. It's so fun. Seeing soccer in a
I went to
country.
see a soccer game in Galway in Ireland. That was very cool.
It probably ruled.
It was dope. They
all care.
It was fun. They did. I'll leave this in. It's fine. They started chanting the Lizzie's in a box chant because Ireland doesn't like England. So when the Queen died, they started chanting Lizzie's in a box.
Good for them.
I saw it live. It was it was something. But then I had another thing. The other rat list for speaking of international stadiums.
Can we start with the rat list?
No, it's okay. This is a brief like thing. Okay. We can do rat list later. It's fine. But like I had seats for a concert in Ireland and I had seats 1 and 2. Where am I sitting in the row?
You're on the
Tell
end.
Me. Wrong. I am in the direct middle of the row.
Oh.
Rat. Horrendous.
Head in hands, dude.
It's because the sections are clumped together and instead, like, you know how each section in America is like seats?
Row.
Next section.
Seat, row.
It
seat,
is
row,
in Ireland, it is, stairs, row, seats, stairs, seats. That's the section. And then the next section starts with seats. And so the seats are together, but it's half is in one section, half is in the other.
Okay.
Horrendous. Terrible design. I was so mad because I was excited to be on the end, easy access, directly in the middle.
Tall.
It was
I'm
like
tall.
the
We need the leg room.
Exactly. You get it.
You know what's funny is the Garden's a place where they play basketball. So like taller people probably like to go and there's no room.
Yeah, no, the Garden seats are horrendous. Terrible seats. So small. Not fun. Anyways, speaking of the Garden, that can be our segue to finally talk about the Celtics. Thank you for listening to our nonsense per usual. People like it though. And hopefully you enjoy it.
I didn't even talk about PT. We'll save it.
We'll save it.
I'll be back.
Exactly. Celtics wrapped up their regular season today as we're recording this. Yesterday, as you guys are listening, put an absolute smackdown on the Atlanta Hawks. We also didn't talk about the Raptors game the other night. It was boring. That's about as much
It's
as
been
you
a
need to
boring
know
couple
about it.
days, which is nice.
Yes.
It's nice when the games don't matter.
Agreed.
I got to tell you,
However,
especially like before the time when the games matter the most, and I feel like I'm going to
yes.
die multiple times a week, then it's really nice when I can sit there and be like, wow, I really think it's cool that Pritchard's taking a million threes. I don't care.
That's what I was going to say too. Like, how do you feel? Payton Pritchard, the second player in NBA history to have 9 threes in a game and a 30-point triple-double.
I
How's
love
that?
the nitpick stats like that.
Well, I mean, that's definitely a nitpick stat, but it's also like a crazy impressive nitpick stat. You know what I'm
Give him
saying?
the
Like
max, dude.
it's not like 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 threes. You know, it's like 30-point triple-double and 9 threes. Like, that's kind of insane. It's him and James Harden on the list. James Harden did it twice. Payton Pritchard did it today. Obviously, like, Pritchard's going to have more opportunities playing against weaker competition, but the fact that he was able to do it shows just how talented this Celtics team is, because he's not getting minutes, right? And it's not because he's not good. It's because the guys ahead of him are good. And I think this cemented the fact, at least in my mind, that like they're probably going to trade him this summer. I think they'd be dumb not to.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone. And it's not
Excuse me. Yeah.
really anybody's fault. It's just
No.
the team's good and he's good and there's guys better than him. So it's not really fair to keep him around.
Agreed.
He's never really created any problems about it. He's been a pretty good soldier. And he deserves a little bit of an opportunity. He's a quality player. He's proven to you in the playoffs before he can play. He can create his own shot. You saw today he can dish it out to his teammates. He's a really good player, and he's going to help some team off the bench. I don't know off the top of my head who would be the best suitor. Maybe some people throw around Portland.
Question.
He's from there. Like, I don't know. There's just like a lot of what if.
Miami.
With Pritchard.
As much as you don't like him, Miami would probably be a really good fit for Pritchard.
Miami could be a good fit. The thing about that is, though, the Celtics, I mean, still have him under contract for a year, so I don't think
so. They probably wouldn't trade him there. I agree.
Yeah.
Maybe Dallas. They could use a new point guard after this season. Do you see what Kyrie did? Do you see what he did? He declined to give an exit interview, and then refused to talk about his free agency. He refused to talk about his free agency plans. Not a great look. Utah could be a good place for him. You know, Danny Ainge is there. They're rebuilding. They could have opportunities. Brooklyn, low key, they don't really have a backup point guard behind Spencer Dinwiddie. I mean, they have Cam Thomas, Patty Mills, but like they could use an extra ball handler there. Indiana maybe a backup, but they don't really need it. They have Andrew Nembhard there as well. Washington could be a good place for him. I don't know. Somebody would pick him up. The Magic could use, another extra ball guards. Yeah, but they're always hurt. Markelle Fultz is there. Cole Anthony's more of a scorer. And then like RJ Hampton's not on the team anymore. So like they really don't have as many guards as you would think. They were in the Fred VanVleet.
They have Anthony, Suggs, Fultz. Those are probably all guys that they want to play over Pritchard. Pritchard's not as young as people think. He's 25. 26.
I know he's 25. The point is, there will be teams that will be suitors for him. He'll have value somewhere, especially after this. So
perhaps we'll see, New Orleans off the bench.
Maybe, but they have Jose Alvarado too. Minnesota's a good one. They have Mike Conley and Jordan McLaughlin. Yeah,
a lot of punching up in Minnesota.
What an end to
today.
the season. Mason Plumlee and Bones Highland also got into it. Speaking of it, Rudy Gobert just put out a tweet. Emotions got the best of me today. I should not have reacted the way I did, regardless of what was said. Want to apologize to the fans, the organization, and particularly to Kyle, who is someone I truly love and respect as a teammate.
That's kind of trashed him yesterday.
Somebody in the reply said, I don't know, man, I would sit out the next game. That way they know you're serious about the apology. Trying to get Rudy to sit.
How funny would that be? Like they all start pressuring him, and like the PR team's like, yeah, you actually probably should sit.
That's fire. That's funny.
It'll be like Morbius all over again.
No, but a good game for Payton Pritchard against the Hawks. He popped off. Sam Hauser also had a huge game against the Hawks.
Big two games.
Sam Hauser
tried to dunk again today.
That's what I was going to say. He just decided he's going to dunk. Joe Mazzulla said it's a new thing. Jason Tatum said they'd never seen that from him. Him saying he's never had that dunks in a game since high school. Like, I did it for I looked it up for Celtics blog because I wrote about Sam Hauser after the Raptors game.
Yeah.
Before the game against Toronto, where he had 3 dunks, he had never dunked in the NBA, not once. And you want to know the funnier part? He was 0 for 1. He missed a dunk.
Well, now he's like 2 of 5. I mean, 3 of
3
5.
3 of 5, yeah, something like that. But no, yeah, Sam Hauser, big game, finished with 26 points of his own, 8 threes. Mike Muscala had 27. I didn't even
Mike
notice him had
Muscala was
27.
fire. He went off in the third quarter. He
Yeah.
had 18 points, and he was just pulling. It was heat check after heat check, and they were going in for him. It
Yeah.
was pretty cool. And Cornette had a couple cool dunks. Just really a solid showing from the fellas.
Good game for
Derek
him.
White played for 5 minutes and said he played all the games, which is great.
Justin Champagny did not shoot particularly well in his first 4 minutes for the Celtics.
Well, what do you want out of him? He's like the 16th guy on the team.
True. As far as the Derek White thing, though, like, you can joke that he played 5 minutes, but like the fact that he played in all 82 games,
everyone should look up to him.
Absolutely,
and Mikal Bridges.
Absolutely, give him credit. Fire for him. Not going to get a ton of credit because Derek White played all 82, so he'll get the attention. But Sam Hauser played in, I believe, 80 of the games, like 81 of the games, or he missed 1 or 2, which is like huge for a guy that coming into the year you didn't really know how much he'd give you, right? Like think back to October, like we're talking about like Sam Hauser's going to have to step into a bigger role because Gallinari's out, and now it's like Sam Hauser's probably going to play over Gallinari when he comes back because he's been that good. So
yeah,
shout out to Sam Hauser. Played very well against the Hawks. Grant Williams did something against the Hawks.
What?
I'm laughing. Did you see the Grant Williams highlight against Atlanta?
Yeah, I tagged you in it. I said let him cook, and it's just him. He does a bunch of jab steps, and then drives baseline, tries to spin, and then dribbles the ball off his foot, gets it back, and then tries to pass to himself without hitting the backboard and turns it over.
I love Grant Williams, and I do think he's very important to the Celtics' playoff hopes, and how they play in the playoffs, playing defense. Like I think he'll be important to them on both ends of the floor. But man, was that funny to watch! Like just
there is no player on this team that's funnier to watch fail than Grant Williams, and it's not because you don't like him; it's just because like that's his role. Like they're all busting his balls about it. Like they're probably all like laughing at it in the locker room, watching the video, like being like, "What were you doing, Grant? You can't pass it to yourself. You should know that you're in the NBA." Like apparently, like that's a move he's trying to do all the time too. I think Bobby tweeted about it. He was like, "Grant tries this all the time, and it's not good."
Doesn't often work. Does not often work, but good win for the Celtics against the Hawks. Like I said, Raptors game, really not much to discuss there. It's not like it was boring.
Is this Nick Nurse's final game in TD Garden as the Raptors coach?
Yes, I think so. I think he's done as with the Raptors.
The streets,
I was talking to
now there's a couple vacancies there. Houston, Detroit.
Oh, did Dwayne Casey get fired?
Casey has moved into the front office.
Oh, okay. That's good. I think they liked him there. I just think they need
he was there for a while. He was there for like 6 years. It's been that long.
Yeah. He saw them through the Blake Griffin era. What a time. What a time. Speaking of Blake Griffin, since we were talking about the Hawks game, he played 508. Do you think that his lack of playing time was more him not needing to play and them just wanting to play the young guys? Or do you think it's like Blake might get some playoff minutes?
Both.
You think he'll get playoff minutes?
Yeah, not in the first round, I don't think. I don't think they're going to need him in the first round, regardless of who they play. Maybe if they play Miami, they put him in there a little extra to cover Bam or try. But playing against a Giannis or an Embiid, you've seen him go in there and have to defend those guys. He's done an excellent job all season of taking charges. He has done the same thing over the last couple seasons with Brooklyn. He was big on taking charges as well. So he's going to be somebody I think they throw in there for the defensive assignments, oddly enough. And he got like the one stop they got on Embiid the whole game earlier this week. So
true. Who would have thought at the start of the season Blake Griffin would be the defensive stopper the Celtics would turn to?
I like Blake. He's a very likable guy, funny guy, sweet mustache, better than the both of us.
Much better than we could ever dream of. Shout out Blake Griffin. I just thought that was interesting that he only played that amount. Because it was just similar to like Derek White, Grant Williams. Like it was similar to the guy that are probably going to play in the playoffs. Speaking of the playoffs, since I'm a master at segues now, Celtics are going to take on the Miami Heat or the Atlanta Hawks. I know we talked about this last pod as well. Both of us much rather play the Hawks. That being said, I have a sneaking suspicion that the Celtics are probably going to play the Miami Heat.
Dude, they keep saying Atlanta's confident.
Who says that?
Well, on the broadcast they were talking about it today. I believe Atlanta themselves have really like pumped their own whatever. Pumped their own tires there.
I'm going to say this here, and I said this on the Celtics Lab podcast. And I think I said this last week. Excuse me, or last episode. Teams that scare me more than the Hawks. Teams that
we did talk about this, but go ahead.
I would rather play the Hawks than all of these teams. The Brooklyn Nets, the Miami Heat, the Toronto Raptors, the Chicago Bulls, the Orlando Magic, the Indiana Pacers, the Washington Wizards. I would rather play the Hawks than any of those teams.
It's kind of funny you didn't put the Bucks or Sixers in there. Pretty confident.
You know what I mean. Out of any of the teams below the play-in and the standings, obviously I would rather play the Hawks than any other team. The only teams in the East I would rather play than the Hawks are the Hornets and the Pistons. Every other team, I would rather play the Hawks. I genuinely think the Hawks are the third least scary team for the Celtics specifically. They just don't strike any fear in my heart whatsoever. Trae Young.
Yeah, they're Sixers light.
Yes.
Never beat the Celtics.
Exactly. They have Derek White, Marcus Smart for Trae Young, DeJounte Murray. They have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown for whoever the hell the Hawks decided to throw it at the wing. They have Al Horford for Clint Capella. They have Robert Williams. The Hawks have a less than frightening bench unit. Like I just don't fear the Hawks at all. John Collins, they've tried to trade him 4 years in a row. That tells me a lot. DeAndre Hunter's cool. He played really well against the Heat in their first round playoff series last year, so I'll give him credit for that. But I mean, he can guard one of Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. Who are they going to throw on the other one? Bogdanovich, Sadiq Bey. Like I every time the Celtics have played the Hawks in the past 2 years, it has been a monumental victory for the Celtics. No
Except
fear
for
at
that
all.
one time Gallinari didn't miss any shots.
Yeah, outside of the last 5 games, the Hawks won 3 in a row, but since then, nothing but domination. And so I'm not afraid of the Hawks in the slightest. Miami, Jimmy Butler's been on fire. Now, I don't think the Celtics would lose to Miami. I think they would take a game or two, which would be annoying.
It would be very annoying.
Jimmy Butler's been on a heater. Eric Spoelstra is one of the best coaches in league history, arguably. Bam Adebayo can get hot. Tyler Hero can make some annoying shots. Kyle Lowry
so can Haslam, apparently.
Haslam can do some stuff.
Did you see that today? You know what I'm talking about?
I heard about it. Yes.
Yeah, he was doing everything. Like he wasn't just like getting layups. He was making jumpers.
Did he play?
Yeah, he had 24 points or something. He led them in scoring, I think.
They
had a cool ceremony for him before the game. I'm not being sarcastic. That's nuts. Bam gave him a rocking chair because he just sits around, I guess. But he had like 13 first quarter points. He exploded. He was nasty. Good for him.
That's cool. I like Haslam. I like Udonis Haslam.
I'm a sucker for the last hurrah for these guys when they stick with a team. Especially like a guy like Haslam, like that rules because he was never like a superstar or anything, but he's loyal and just got rewarded for it with a cool day. He's probably going to get his number retired. It's not like anyone's clamoring to wear 40, but
great. Yeah, he's definitely getting his number retired. I respect Udonis Haslam. He's like if Thanasis Antetokounmpo wasn't the brother of his teammate, kind of.
Well, no. Haslam was like all rookie at one point. Like he actually like played. He's won championships as a role player.
I just meant now. I was just saying that to irritate you. He's the Heat's all-time leading rebounder.
Yeah, good for him.
He's fire. Shout out Udonis Haslam. He deserves it. Cool dude. But
I don't have to see him.
Yeah,
hope the Bucks play him out. Him and Thanasis can battle it out in the first round.
You hear on the broadcast, they were talking about like Atlanta's keeping their guys in Atlanta so they don't have to spend the night in Miami. And Scalabrini was like, well, I mean, they can have just as fun a night in Atlanta. So I don't really know what their point is.
It's true.
Yeah, it's the battle of the vacation spots, the fun spots.
Dude, imagine James Harden in that series. James Harden would be like so bad in the playoffs, worse than he usually typically is.
Who'd Philly get round
like
one?
Crap on him.
They drew Brooklyn round 1, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Low key, they're gonna get Brooklyn, then probably Cleveland. James Harden's gonna be locked in. He doesn't. He
no,
can
they're
just
gonna
chill.
get the Celtics.
Oh yes, you're right.
He'll still be locked in.
Brooklyn and Boston, yeah, no problem. And then even if they win, which I mean, we'll knock on wood, and I don't think the Celtics are scared. They'd get Milwaukee. Like this is shaping up to be a pretty good year for James Harden. He doesn't have to go anywhere. Think about it. He had to go to Miami last year. Like you can't blame the guy. Yeah. Right. Like
it's tough.
You know what? Let me take a look at them real quick. James Harden. Let's look at James Harden's playoff runs and see where it went wrong.
Well, like the guy on Reddit like went through all the strip club cities and like the stats.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I do remember that. That's funny. Philly last year, they had to go to Miami. The year before that, Philly had to go to where'd they lose?
He wasn't on Philly. He was on Brooklyn the year before.
Yes. Sorry.
They beat Boston and then lost to Milwaukee.
Yeah, weird. There must be something good in Milwaukee there, right? Like, and then obviously the Houston years. It was his hometown. What are you gonna do?
He was playing with a handicap. It's actually kind of him. The Warriors should shout out.
Well,
they should send rings to the strip club.
He's going back again, right? That's the rumor. Maybe he's gonna go back. I will say,
the strangest thing ever is if he leaves a winning situation or a competing situation in Philly.
If James Harden leaves Philly, does Joel Embiid, the next superstar, to request a trade? That's the question. You don't think so?
I guess it kind of depends how they go out. Like if they get bodied by the Celtics, maybe.
What if Philly gets eliminated by the Nets round 1?
Maybe. But I don't know. Like
how awesome would that be?
You can say what you want about Embiid and Philly, but it's not the typical they haven't put guys around him. Because they have.
Sure, but it's not always what it's about. Sometimes it just doesn't work in a certain scenario.
Sometimes you're not good enough to win. Yeah. Like you're not like a dominant force in the playoffs and you can't win. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yes. I saw someone writing about this for SB Nation, like the team site. Like they said, how cool would it be if the Blazers traded for Embiid? Imagine Dame and Embiid in the playoffs. I feel like that'd be
fine, dude. Western Conference, cool. I'll take it.
Get him out of here. Anyway,
then I can really root for him.
I assume you're on board with the give me the Hawks rather than the Heat.
Yeah, give me the Hawks, dude.
Really close.
Trae Young sucks. He's a skinny. He's like my build.
Did you see what happened to Trae Young the other night on Friday when the Celtics were playing the Raptors?
I don't know anything specific you're talking about, but I did watch their game Friday, and it was the funniest ending ever. They were up at home. Yeah, they were up at home on the Sixers, who were playing the Fellas, and Daniel House led the Sixers back and then tied the game before regulation ended, and then they lost in overtime to the Fellas in Philly, or not in Philly.
Daniel House,
Atlanta.
Daniel House had 22 points, took 10 free throws.
I'd be so mad.
24, George Niang 24, Jaden Springer 19,
George Niang
Montrezl Harrell 11. He's cool. Trae Young had 27 points and 20 assists, and he lost 9 turnovers.
I said it to my boy Devin. Him and Luka, they just play like my career. Like they just sit on the ball.
Yeah,
like of course you're gonna get assists if you have the ball all the time.
Sure.
And it's not to really like try and take away from it, I guess, but like, okay, if you're putting out 20 assists like that and you have that many points, like your team shouldn't be losing. Because if you're getting the assists, that means the other guys are doing something. Like they have to put the ball in the basket for you to get assists. 9 turnovers is not good.
9 turnovers is terrible. Excuse me. I was in the Celtics media room talking with Jeff Twist, who's one of the media guys for the Celtics, and he was like, the Sixers playing the Hawks, right? And he was talking to Taylor Snows, the writer of the Celtics, and I tune in. I'm like, yes, it's going to. Jeff Twist goes, it's going to overtime. I go, what do you mean it's going to overtime? The Sixers, the Hawks just blew a lead in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
to the Fellas.
Bad.
And we started laughing. 20 assists, 9 turnovers lost. Yeah, agree. Bring the Hawks.
I can't wait for Tuesday.
And to
it's
his
gonna be
credit,
like last
even
year
though,
all over again when I was rooting hard for the Cavs.
Exactly. Even though I'm not scared of Trae Young, it is funny that he was a plus 10 with 27 and 20 and still lost.
Yeah, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just being mean. But him and Luka do play my career. That's true.
DeJounte Murray minus 23. Disaster. Can't have that. In a game,
I never thought that trade made sense. Go back, pull the tapes.
In a game, they lost by 5, minus 23. Disaster. But yeah, give me my. I think they'd be fine with Miami too, the Celtics, but just like it would be a lot more annoying is the thing. I think.
Also, like Miami's such a lame franchise. I'm not even like hating. I just don't get excited about playing them. Like there was juice when
Yeah.
LeBron was there, of course, because he's LeBron and the
So
Celtics
you weren't
don't like
excited
him.
in
And
the
they have a
Western Conference
rivalry.
Finals last year?
What did you say?
You weren't excited in the Eastern Conference Finals last year?
No, I thought it should have been a wash. I mean, I was,
You
of
think the
course,
Celtics
excited the
should've-
Celtics were there.
You think the Celtics should have like wiped their hands with them, like gotten them, bing bang
Yeah.
boom out of there?
They should have won in 5.
Sure.
They should have closed out Game 3 and won in 5.
I can buy
you want
that.
me to start talking about retrospective
No.
what they should have did?
Please
Don't
don't.
worry about it. I
It's
can do
okay.
20 minutes on that.
I'm all right. I'm A-okay
Okay.
with that one. But no, yeah, I definitely do think the Celtics are much better equipped to take on the Heat this year. Regardless of how you think they should have done last year. Like the Heat got worse and the Celtics got better. And you saw
You
that
lose PJ Tucker
in the regular season.
It's tough to recover.
Yeah, that's a
from that.
disaster. You can't really recover. And to his credit, PJ Tucker did pack up the Celtics the other day. That was unfortunate. Anyways, enough about the potential playoff opponents. End of the regular season, Sam. Let's do some awards. And
right.
I know you hate awards.
I do hate awards.
We're gonna do funny
Also,
awards.
before we jump right into this, speaking of awards, you see Giannis talk to Chris Haynes about how he's mad that he's not winning MVP, even though he's kind of right.
I
He's
think
saying
the
pretty
way
much,
he phrased it,
I
was
should have won
fine.
MVP for the last 5 years because I was the best player.
I don't
but they
think he was like
can't-
complaining. I think he was just saying like, yeah, I think I was the MVP, but whatever, photo fatigue. I don't
That's
think he like
complaining.
actually cares, but sure. But I don't think he was like bitching about it. You know what I'm saying? I just think it was just like,
I think if you don't care, then you don't give that interview.
I guess.
I mean,
But, like,
I
if
don't
you're-
care that he cares or not. I think the
Wait,
whole thing
my
is stupid.
thing
And I'm
is-
sick of hearing about it. I think
my
Giannis
thing
is
is-
the MVP.
I agree. My thing is, I doubt Giannis went out and like specifically seeked it out. I bet Chris Haynes asked him about it, and he wasn't just gonna say like whatever. Like he
probably
said what he
true.
thought because he was asked about it, and so that's fine.
It's true. I
That's
think
why I have no
Giannis is the MVP. That's why I think this is all so stupid between Jokic
Mm-hmm.
and Embiid, because I think both of them don't hold a candle to Giannis. Neither one of those guys is as nearly as intimidating as Giannis in a playoff series. Give me either of those guys. I think the Celtics are going to chew up and spit out Philly. I don't think Jokic is going to get past the second round. I just don't. I know you think differently, but
Mhm.
those guys in a playoff series don't intimidate me at all.
I understand why. It makes sense. I don't know. I think Embiid has the potential to this year. I
Embiid
don't know
had
why, but like
one of the best games I've ever seen.
that's what I'm saying. I think
It's
he could
true.
turn it up this year.
But I
don't
know.
think my thing with Philly is I don't think they have the supporting cast to back him up.
It's
Because
fair.
like he's not going to do that every night. And if Embiid didn't put up 52 in that game, the Sixers just
Well,
don't win.
even if he does it every night, the Celtics didn't have anybody playing. Or not anybody. they didn't have Jaylen or Rob.
They were down a couple starters. Agree. I think it'd be fine. All right. Season awards. We're gonna do funny ones though. We're not gonna do MVP, 6 man of the year. That's boring.
It's lame.
Funniest moment of the season, Sam.
This is Celtics related, all of it, to clarify.
All Celtics. I know my answer, and I have a sneaky suspicion
We have the
you
same
one.
answer.
Yes,
It's Grant
I-
missing the 2 free throws. That's the funniest thing I've
Absolutely.
ever seen. And the fact that we watched that game together and you were flipping out because I was like,
I
there's no
knew it
way
was
he
happening.
misses
I
both
told
of
you.
these.
I told you it was gonna happen.
I wasn't being sarcastic or trying to be funny and jinx it. I legitimately was like, Grant shoots like 90% from the free throw line. He's not.
And
gonna
I
miss
told
these.
Sam, we were on video call. I told Sam to his face, I said, Sam, he's missing both of these.
Yeah.
I told you. And as
And
soon
I
as he
wasn't
missed
on
the first
delay.
one, I
We
knew
were
it was
watching
right.
together.
It was horrendous. It was a disaster.
I love that
I
moment.
mean,
Honorable
can't-
mention: Cornette doing the bird celebration.
that was fire. Forgot
Um,
about that. Yep.
I want to say, oh man, there's just so many funny things that happened in Celtics this year.
I think
I think Blake with the Thanasis
Blake-
mask.
Blake laughing in the face of Thanasis and Chris Dunn in 2 straight games was fire.
That's funny. I
That was very
thought
funny.
when they beat Phoenix real bad and they were dancing in Phoenix was funny.
I thought that was last year. Or has it just been a
It
long
was
season?
the end of the year, 2022.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was funny. That was funny as well. Okay. Grant takes the cake though. Grant missing 2 free throws. is the
Yeah,
best.
Grant
Not
missing
close.
is so funny. Anytime Grant fails, it's so funny. We already talked about it. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is about Grant. It just makes it like you don't want him to fail. You're not rooting against him actively. And I don't like hate Grant.
I love
Don't-
Grant.
Don't take it like that. I don't hate him. I think he's
Yes.
fine. But seeing him like mess up is so funny.
Mhm. No, you're right. I agree with you. I will also say honorable mention because it's technically not the regular season. Jason Tatum getting ejected in a preseason game was hilarious.
Well, I forgot about that.
Right? Sneaky one. Just what are we doing? Come on. Also, not Celtics, but Celtics related because Marcus Smart backed it up. Fred VanVleet saying Ben Taylor was fucking awful tonight was amazing. I loved it. So funny.
I think the Mavs collapse as a whole was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Mavs hilarious. Mavs,
but
Cavs,
pinpointing one moment from that is when they lost. Charlotte. I want to say maybe it was to Charlotte
twice in a row.
But then Kid was like, well, I don't care. Like, or not, I don't care, but like, I don't know why everyone's so upset. Like, nobody's dying. That was the greatest quote ever.
Another Jason Kidd quote. What do you want me to do? Like, they're the ones out there playing.
Dude, Kidd is hilarious. And the best thing about Kidd is I don't think he's doing it like to be funny.
No, and when
he's
they asked
like
him
kind of mad.
A couple games ago, they asked him like, what are you thinking now versus XX? And he cracks open a beer. He's like, I don't know. What do you want from me? And he starts.
And he's always got that stupid hat on backwards.
Jason Kidd funny. All right.
And the best thing about Kidd is he's going to be employed next year. That's what they said.
Yeah. I really don't think he's that bad. I just think the Mavericks roster kind of stinks. Like it's just
the team stinks and you blame the coach. That's how it goes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The highest high and lowest low of the season.
Okay.
You want me to go first? You want to go?
Highest high. I'll go first. Okay. Highest high. Probably each of the Bucks wins.
Yep, I was gonna say the Bucks.
Maybe also the Suns win because they killed them too, and then they went to lose a bunch of games, which might have been the lowest low.
I think the lowest low, or we can get into that, but the highest high I agree was the 41-point Bucks win, or sneaky, the overtime win over Golden State was another big one. I thought that was a statement one for the Celtics, just getting over that hump. Impressive win. They grinded it out. They fought, even though Golden State made their runs and it wasn't a pretty game. But the fact that they were able to grind it out and win against a team that they had, like, realistically speaking, they probably had a mental block against, in the finals and in the first game of the season. The fact that they were able to win that game, I thought that was a big game for them.
Oh, sorry. Another funniest moment of the year.
Funny,
LeBron acting like he died.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Foul for him.
That was amazing, especially because he was right. I think that made it funnier because he was completely right.
I wish he wasn't right because I think it would have been better if he was wrong.
Sure, actually,
I don't know. And then after that, they got a million calls. We talked about it a couple shows ago. Refs were ratless because they have like the biggest free throw differential by a long shot.
Yeah,
since that day. And then the refs were like, we lost sleep over this.
Disaster. All right, lowest low.
Lowest low. I think losing to the Knicks twice was really bad in that 1 week.
I think that 3-game stretch of blowing a 28-point lead to the Nets, blowing a 14-point lead to the Knicks, blowing a 15-point lead to the Cavs. That 3-game stretch of losing 3 double-digit leads in a row, that was the lowest low, I think. Not close. I think that was by far it.
I made a lot of money that week.
I remember you did. My dad took insurance against the Raptors the other night, and he didn't win, obviously, but it was a good night.
See, I didn't care enough in those games to take insurance.
Sure. No, that's also fair.
Insurance, sure. It'll. This is time for insurance.
Take insurance in the playoffs. Take insurance in the playoffs.
I almost took insurance in the conference finals last year before Game 6. The Celtics were, or Miami rather, was like plus 900. And I should have like threw $50 on it because I almost died last year after Jimmy Butler had Game 6.
True.
I watched that the other day, and I really don't want to play them.
Yeah,
but I was like getting mad watching it because some of the shots he was making were so ridiculous.
Yeah, it was like Embiid, but if the Celtics, it was Embiid, but if the Celtics played actual defense on Embiid.
Yeah, if they weren't afraid Embiid was going to act like he died on the floor.
Jimmy Butler also cooked them in a game earlier this regular season too. Like he just made a couple ridiculous shots in regulation and overtime.
Yeah, it was here.
It was big time. You said you were there?
No, it was here. I remember it.
They
played him twice.
Yes, and Jaylen Brown hit that nut shot to send it to OT. All right. Anyways, biggest surprise of the season. I think it's pretty obvious for me.
Derek White.
Oh, different from mine. Okay.
You were going to say Hauser?
I was going to say Blake Griffin. I was not expecting Blake Griffin to play this sort of role and be this sort of a vibes guy when he came into the Celtics this summer.
I think vibes guy could be expected. Blake seems to have a good personality. He's always
but
been
not
kind
to
of a
this
funny
level
guy.
Like he's become like arguably best friends.
He's
with
playing with
roster.
Kyrie.
Okay.
That'll like
I
kill
guess,
you.
yeah.
You saw Luca. He said, "I don't even want to be around anymore." And he said, "I used to
Well,
smile on court. Now I no smile anymore." That's what he said,
he
verbatim.
did say today that he wanted to
What's he gonna say?
stay.
What's he
I
gonna
know.
say?
Fair enough.
I hate
Also,
that guy. I want him gone. And then Mavs fans are like,
a
"What are
t-
you doing, Luca?"
sidetrack. A Timberwolves employee caught a video of Kyle Anderson walking to the locker room. Quote, "The fuck is wrong with y'all? Y'all kiss his ass way too much, telling me to focus. The fuck is wrong with y'all? Y'all got a decision to make this second." Let's play. Shall we play the audio?
No, don't play the audio.
Why?
But
All right, fine.
well,
Go ahead.
as much as I love to trash Rudy Gobert because he's definitely not worth his big money,
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably still gonna take him over Kyle Anderson.
Kyle Anderson's like very, very well liked. Like everyone.
It's not that
In
he's
that
well
locker
liked
room-
or not. It's just like skill set. He's like bounced around.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Rudy
Don't try and be smart basketball guy with me. There's still like a
Okay.
reason like Gobert's winning defensive player of the years and stuff. Like
13,
he's still good
not
at
this
something.
year. 13.5 points, 11.8 rebounds, 1.3 assists for Gobert. Shooting 66% from the field. 9.5 points, 5.3 rebounds, 4.9 assists, 51% from the field, 41% from three for Barry Anderson.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
I think
Gobert
it's
should be making
closer.
as much money. It might be
Sure.
closer than I'm acting like, especially because of the money.
I'm not
But
even from like
still.
a play perspective. I just think like Kyle Anderson is so well liked in the locker room.
Well,
and
that's
so
fine.
around the
That's a
league.
good point.
Anyways, okay.
It
Biggest
was
surprise
weird.
this season.
The video is weird
Yeah,
because
well,
they like
an
immediately like
employee.
separate. No, not the employee video, like the actual like
The actual
punch.
video. Yes, agree. You
Because
see what Draymond
Gobert
Green
punches
did?
him, and then everyone like kind of like acts like Kyle Anderson shouldn't retaliate, which I think is why
Yeah.
he's mad.
You see what Draymond tweeted? He
Yeah,
clapped right back at him.
he
Fire.
clapped right back at him because when Draymond
Amazing.
decided he wanted to punch somebody on his team, Gobert had to say something, and so
Mhm.
Draymond said the same exact thing, saying it's what is it? Insecurity is the loudest or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Draymond Green, just A tier, S tier.
I love
trash talker.
Draymond, dude.
Draymond's
People
awesome.
hate Draymond. Draymond's fire. I'm sorry if you don't like him. I know he was a pain in the ass in the finals, and he kind of changed the tone of that series in Game 2.
And
But
again,
he
if that
rules.
like
If he was on the
from,
Celtics, he would be an all-time great Celtic.
from a neutral perspective, like give him credit. Like he did change the tone of that series. Like whatever.
He did.
Biggest surprise this season: Blake Griffin, good one. Derek White, also good one. He's played way above, I think, what a lot of people expected once he's gelled with the team. Biggest performance of the season.
Okay, that's a good one.
This is a tough one for me.
Off the top of my head, man, I don't know. What jumps out to me off the page is Derek White having a 29-12 game against the Bucks when they had nobody playing.
That was huge, but they lost, so I hesitate to like give it to him.
That's true. That's a typical Sam play. Is they lost, doesn't matter.
Ooh, I have one. Sneaky because I don't even think he led the team in scoring. Al Horford against the 76ers when they were down.
he rallied him back.
That was a big one. He hit a few huge threes in a row. He had, how many points did he have in that game? He had, I think
20.
5 threes in that game, 15 points. So it's like he's had bigger games, but like just the way he rallied them back in the game was a big one. A really,
I think
big one,
Jaylen Brown's 41 a couple weeks ago was pretty great.
I
And
agree,
Tatum
but it was
out.
against the Spurs, so I give him a little less credit. Like
It's true.
it was good.
But off the top of my head, I
Spurs.
can't think of any great Tatum games besides the All-Star game.
That's the All-Star game.
And this is not me trying to be a hater. This is more of Tatum's like really good, and he does it all the time that nothing stands out.
44 against LA in the double overtime game, and he hit the tying shot.
That's a good one. He came to play in that game at State.
That would be a lot better if they didn't almost blow it. I will also say.
Well, they did blow it, and then the Lakers said, "Here, you have it."
Also true.
Like they went down 10 with like 3 minutes to go, and then they tied it.
Yeah, that was a big one. Derek White against the he had a couple back-to-back games against Charlotte and Milwaukee. Like he played really well there, and he had like a couple more 20 and 10 something ones in there in February. He had a big February. He won Player of the Month in February, right? Or Player of the Week at some point.
He did something.
He won one of those. Jaylen Brown, he's had some big ones. He also played really well in that Lakers game, or in a Lakers game. a big game against Minnesota. Yeah, I might like pure impact. That Al Horford game was like it's huge for them. Malcolm Brogdon's had a few good ones.
Oh, Blake Griffin against Philly, February 8th.
That was a big one too. That was huge. He was great in that game. You're right. Blake Griffin gonna take a lot of these awards.
Also, I kind of forgot that the Celtics beat Philly on that day with like nobody playing. It was literally just Tatum in the second half, and they beat Philly.
Yeah, that was a huge game.
That's hilarious. I completely forgot about that after the one that they almost did it again.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's bad.
No, we had a huge game. Malcolm Brogdon had 29 in that Toronto game, like the first Toronto game of the recent, and like the Raptors made a run. So like Brogdon's performance was huge. Like he was important in that one. So that's an okay one. Marcus Smart hasn't really had many huge ones. Like that OKC game that was close. He played well in November. That was like early season. That was 22-8. He was big in that one. Marcus Smart had 15 assists against the Hornets. He had 15. Oh, Marcus Smart, sneaky one. Early November, I do remember this now. He had 15 and 12 against Memphis. And I remember him being big against the Grizzlies in a game that the Celtics won by a little bit. So give him credit for that too. But I think that Blake Griffin performance, Tatum against the Lakers, and then, like I said, Blake against Philly, and then Horford against Philly in a different game. Those were probably the bigger ones.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. All right. The Malik Fitz Award. Shout out Malik Fitz, Celtics legend. Best cheerleader on the bench. And I think it might just
it's Blake.
Blake Griffin.
And also Kevin Gele.
Kevin Gele gets credit too. Yeah,
Kevin Gele like looks like he's seen a ghost like 80%
Luke
of
Cornett's
the time
fun
they
too.
show him.
I'll give Luke Cornett credit for his little hand pumps.
Yeah, Luke Cornett's so awkward that he's really funny.
You know, the Celtics scored 120 points in 41 games this season. That was the stat they spit on the broadcast. That's nuts. And
they never lose when they do
38 and 3. 38 and 3 when they score 120.
Not good if they don't score 120.
Yeah, but when you're doing it in half your games, it's pretty good. Like it's not like it's
score
like
all the points in the playoffs.
It's not like they're 10 and 2, right? It's not like, oh, it happened this many times and they're rough without it. It's like in half their games they're completely dominant, which is like we take those. That's a pretty good mark. So there is that. Also, let me take a look at this too. Teams. Let's see where the Celtics finished offensively and defensively. Just out of curiosity, because I haven't looked yet. Celtics, second best defense in the league, 110.6 defensive rating. Only team better was the Cavs. Second best offense, 117.3. Only team better was the Kings. So there you go. Good finish.
I do not care about the offensive rating.
Only team in the top 5 of both, I believe.
Yeah, they were like top 2.
So
and then they had the best net rating going into today.
They still have the best net rating by decent margin. So give them credit. 4th best assist to turnover ratio too, which
that's important.
Good. All right. That wraps up the fun awards because we didn't really want to talk about real awards because that's boring.
The real awards suck. They're lame.
Shall we wrap up with the rat list, my friend?
We can do rat list, and then we can
I can
quickly discuss other playoff stuff if we have interest in.
Yes. I got rat listed today.
Did you?
So my dad, I went to Easter dinner with my sister, my dad, my dad's girlfriend. It was good. It was fine. They like the rat list. My dad loves the rat list, and so he brought it up. And on the way home, excuse me, a truck pulled out in front of my dad at a red light. My dad let him go because it was a red light, right? He goes, I'm going to be stuck here anyways. I'll let the truck out because he's going to be waiting regardless. He was nice. It was a nice move.
Okay. Yes, I know what
truck, you mean. Big truck pulls out, proceeds to go right through the red light and turn right. Just doesn't stop. Just pulls out, goes right through. When there was an entrance to go that way on the other side of the parking lot.
Oh.
Rat move.
Or just idiot.
Exactly. Rat move. So I was behind my dad because we took separate cars. Called him. I was like, Dad, you want a rat? That's a rat move. My dad's girlfriend, we were talking about it, whatever. She goes, Jack, your headlight's still out. And my dad was saying it too. I'm like, oh, yeah. And my dad's girlfriend goes, Jack, that's a ratless move. I'm like,
oh, no.
Shit. I got put on the rat list because I forgot to get my headlight fixed. It's a disaster. So I was on the rat list today. But yeah, that truck, definitely a rat list. Also, rat list, Rudy Gobert. Can't
punching, yes.
Rat list. You can't be doing that. Anyways, what you got? Rat list today.
Your rat list. You left me by myself today.
Yes, Ratless
Slept
twice for
in.
me.
Jack Ratlist. I did the pregame double Ratlist for Jack. I'm glad I kept a straight face through you saying you were on the rat list, because I was like, you're on the rat list again.
Shit. Yeah, I
It's really not a big deal, but it is funny for the show.
No, I deserve it. I deserve the rat list twice.
I was playing
Man.
Xbox, and then usually like I'll just load up 5 minutes before, like get in, and I was like,
The room's set up already.
Yeah, I went on to StreamYard and I was like, oh, the room's not set up. And I was like, it's 12:30. He's not awake. But I was like, we didn't tell anybody that we weren't going to do a show, so I'll just get up there and do it. And if I bomb, then I'll get off after like 10 minutes. And I did
appreciate
fine.
you.
Shout out to the chat. Chat anti-rat list asked me a ton of questions.
Did I get made fun of in the chat?
Landon said Birkin was making fun of you in the CLNS chat, but he never said what he said.
Oh, Birkin.
So I don't remember. I don't remember what they said.
What the hell?
Yeah. Henry might have caught some strays from me. But yeah, Jack Ratless. Show went okay. I don't know. I did okay.
What CLNS chat?
I don't remember. They were just talking about it in the chat, and I was like, oh, what did they say about Jack? And they never.
Oh, I was on Celtics Lab, which is CLNS. Birkin said Jack Simone is a legend, and Landon laughed, which maybe that's not great. What the hell, though?
Wait, what did they say?
Landon said Jack Simone legend, and then Birkin just sent the laughing face emoji. So, like, thanks, Birkin. Rat.
Oh, that's not very nice.
But yeah. Anyways, I'll take it. Hand up my bad. Rat list twice. Rough day for Jack.
Other rat list. Quinn Snyder for challenging today during a game that meant nothing. 2.
What did he challenge?
I don't even remember. I honestly don't. But I just remember he challenged. 2, Kyrie for not taking the exit interview was kind of a rat move. Not surprising. Definitely. Signature move from a signature rat.
Signature rat move, exactly.
Yep. Also rat. Oh, I had another one. I think it was out west. I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
Was it the Rudy Gobert thing? Excuse me.
I mean, that counts, yeah. How about the other guy, McDaniels? No, not him. Who
yes, Jaden McDaniels punching the wall.
Yeah.
Yep. Funny.
Who's the guy in the Sixers?
Jaylen McDaniels. Brothers.
Okay, very fair for me to get them.
You get a pass. Yeah. They're brothers. You get a pass.
Okay, good. Yeah, a lot of punching going on in Minnesota.
And to make it worse, it's Jaden and Jalen. So they're the same.
Yeah.
Just one letter.
Could be worse. You could have the two guys on the Thunder, Jaden Williams or Jalen Williams.
Jalen Williams and Jalen Williams. Spelled different, though. So you got to get it. You know, there's a kid in the draft this year named Jalen Williams.
The Thunder better draft him.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Is he any good?
I have no idea. I think he's like a second-round projection.
Got to take
if anything. You have to take him as an underdrafted.
Just for the laughs.
Undrafted free agent, at least. All right.
Oh, also, Mavs rat list tanking.
Yes, NBA investigation.
It's going to be great when they're like, they have to give up a second-round pick, and then that's it. Because I don't think they're wrong for tanking. Like, we talked about it. Kevin O'Connor wrote about it. Like, they should tank. And I said it like way earlier in the year. I was like, the best thing that could happen to the Mavs is if Luka gets hurt.
Imagine they win the lottery.
Get a top pick. The NBA would love if they won the lottery. You'd have two international guys playing next to each other.
NBA should punish them for tanking by taking away their first this year. How funny would that be?
They should give it to the Celtics.
For what reason?
Because Kyrie.
Okay, making amends. I see. Not the Nets?
No, not the Nets. Because he chose to go to the Nets, and then they got stuff back for him, but the Celtics never really got anything back for Kyrie.
Fair enough. Okay. You said you want to talk about the playoffs quick before we get on out of here?
Yeah, I could not be more excited for Kings Warriors. I don't know why I'm so excited. I'm probably not going to watch an actual lick of it, but the build up for it, I'm pumped up. You have Mike Brown against Steve Kerr, Brown being his assistant for the last 6-7 years, whatever.
They love him there too.
They like him. They get along. But it rules. I'm so excited. They're so close together. Oh man,
it's a good series.
It's gonna be a great hands series. Asking me that question
because I know you like both teams.
I think the Warriors are gonna get them, and it's gonna suck, and it's gonna be a really good villain arc for the Warriors because everybody's gonna want Sacramento to be a successful story. I think playoffs.
Kings win in 7 at home.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense because the Warriors can't play on the road.
The Golden One Center is going to be electric. The Kings have good fans. I give them credit.
Yeah,
Those
I mean,
fans
if you're a
deserve the
Kings
world.
fan, you're pretty strong.
Agree.
Haven't made the
And then we
playoffs
got
in 17 years before this.
Clippers Suns, Russ versus KD. Good
Yep, Russ,
series.
KD. They're gonna media's gonna love
Good
that.
series. Grizzlies versus Lakers or Timberwolves. Gonna
It
be a
would be
good
great if
series
the
regardless.
Lakers miss it altogether. Oh, I'd be so
They're not
happy.
they're not gonna though. Come on.
I don't know. They mess with Minnesota, they might get punched.
They could. And then Nuggets versus Lakers, Wolves, Pelicans, Thunder. You don't really know.
They are going to do everything to make sure the Lakers get in.
I think the Lakers are the best playing team, regardless. So I just think they'll get in.
It is a good arc. Minnesota, if they win, do they get their 5 championships back?
They could be playing for that. You know, why
I
not?
should tweet that. Yeah, I am gonna
In the
tweet that.
East, Sixers, Nets.
Yeah, it's gonna be the East ones are gonna be a wash. Pretty much,
Cavs,
except for that
Knicks.
4 or 5.
I think Cavs Knicks will be fun.
I think the Cavs
really
are
think
gonna
it'll
beat
be
them,
good.
but I do, and it's not a hater thing. I just think the Cavs are nasty, but I think
I think they're better, but I think the Knicks are going to put up a fight and they're going to make life annoying for the Cavs.
I hope this series goes 7 games. Someone take me behind the shed.
Then we talked about Celtics versus Hawks or Heat, and then the Bucks will get the other playing team, whatever. I think that's about it. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's it. Keep your eyes peeled for Tuesday. I think we're gonna do a stream for this.
Playing game.
We can all hang
Probably
out.
should. We could. That'd be a fun time. We'll chill, and at the very
Go
least,
read my
we can watch
stuff
the
on
game.
Heavy. People are being nice today.
Please do. I'll do my 2 plugs quick. Subscribe to How About Them Celtics. We're back over 300. We're at 301, so we have a buffer. So please subscribe. Helps us get to 302. We would appreciate it. And if you're on Spotify, hit the 3 dots, leave us a rating, leave 5 stars. If you're on Apple Podcasts, leave us a review and leave 5 stars. And if you're not going to leave 5 stars, be mean to us in the YouTube comments. We appreciate any comments there, so you can be mean to us. If you don't think we're good, tell us there. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you very much for listening or watching. Again, if you are on YouTube, like Jack said, make sure you subscribe to the How About Them Celtics channel or Heavy on Celtics. Both of them. Shout out to Heavy. Jack and I, big fans of that. We do not have Heavy on the little thing here. Actually,
no, we don't. That's because we're not.
It'll be there soon.
We'll pop it on. Yeah,
don't worry about it. Actually, but on top of that, if you want more of us, you can listen to us on the streaming platforms. Like Jack said, 5 stars there. Mean stuff in the YouTube comments. And on socials, we're at How About Them C's on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and we're on Facebook. Just the name of the pod. You can catch all our pregame streams there, as well as the Heavy on Celtics Facebook and the YouTube pages. Make sure you come hang out, and hopefully I'm not by myself again. But if Jack's sleeping and you want his thoughts, you can get them at Jack Simone MBA on Twitter. He's doing all kinds of good work there for Celtics blog.
Cool article should be coming out later this week.
Oh,
fingers crossed. Working hard, struggling a little bit, but working
eyeball
hard.
emojis in the chat. And if you want more of me on Twitter at Sam LaFrance NBA, I'm complaining about stuff probably. That's it for us. Bye.